Hey YouTubers, done with work. CV threw down a gauntlet about doing 50 things about yourself, and so I just spent my whole day at work thinking of 50 things about myself. It was really fun, made my day go really fast. So I have them all written down here, and I'm going to try to zip through them really fast. I don't have any fancy numbers that spin around or anything like that, though. I just don't have the hardware for that, software for that. Okay, here we go. Number 1. I had 5 kids. Amazing. Giving birth to 5 kids. 2. I remarried my high school crush and my first husband. So much for puppy love not being real, huh? Number 3. I was an escort for the Dalai Lama. Awesome guy. Awesome energy. Just incredible. 3. I found a bird on the sidewalk. I thought it was a piece of Easter candy somebody had dropped and threw on the sidewalk. Threw it down. And I cried the whole way home after I realized it really was a bird egg. I found a litter of kittens in the field, and I took them home, and I tried to resuscitate them by giving them mouth-to-mouth. Somebody had drowned them and threw them in a bag out in the field. 5, I taught my younger brother how to smoke a joint on my French provincial canopy bed. 6, I was raped in a car by a kid from high school who then ruined my reputation at school. It was then the days where you didn't really even kiss a boy on the first date. That was fun. 7, saw a friend with his head cut almost completely off at a temporary morgue after the 1977 flood. And 8, on that note, I also saw a lot of dead bodies at that morgue. They were all bloated and their mouths were full of mud, something you never forget. On with the not so happy memories about myself. 9, I watched my 15-year-old son die a horrible, painful death from a brain tumor. Fuck you, Monsanto. Fuck you, corporate whores. Fuck you, Bush regime. Fuck you, super cleanup fund sites, which aren't getting cleaned up. Number 10, I won How Could We Have World Peace contest in first grade by writing, we could have world peace if people would treat each other as well as they treat their animals. I won a pen that wrote 5 different colors. I was in heaven. 11, I snuck out of the house after my parents were in bed with Anna Marie McGilvery in our baby doll pajamas, and we didn't come home until morning. My mother woke up, and we told her we were looking for some Kotex for Anna. We were bad. 12, I drove a snowmobile way out in the woods with my cousin. We had 2 bottles of champagne that we stole from an ongoing Christmas party that my parents were having at the time. It was nighttime. We drove out there, and we just got ourselves drunk and rode back on the snowmobile. It was really fun. We still talk about that. 13, I saw a man get his head beat in by some Puerto Ricans in New York Central Park in New York City. And I grabbed him and I went over to a bench and put his head in my lap, and I had a Jehovah's Witness Watchtower paper, and I held it on his head till the police came. I was totally covered in blood. I saw the Beatles live. I have a picture of them. They're about that big on it, but it's them. I saw Rod Stewart in the front row, but I was too stoned to remember anything about it except that it was awesome. But I don't remember anything. 16, I ran away several times, and I started living on my own when I was 17. Haven't lived at home since. 17, I had a nightcrawler collection with over 100 worms in jars. 18, I had a gun held to my head in public by an ex-boyfriend. 19, I went to the World's Fair in New York. 20, I was homeless and lived on the streets in New York City. 21, I found that my dog had followed me about half a mile to my girlfriend's house, as he usually always did. This time he got hit by a car and got killed, and I found him on the way home, and I carried him home. Nobody was at the house, and so I buried him in the backyard by myself. That was horrible. 22, I had a bird shit on my face while I was sunbathing. 23, I tubed all day drinking beer on the Weeki Wachee River in Florida, well, back when you were allowed to tube. And when we got to the end, I got out of the inner tube and I couldn't stand up because I was so drunk and didn't know it. 24, I had a short story published in a literary journal. 25, I have a piece of my artwork on permanent display at the NASA Space Center in Houston, Texas. 26, I was a photographer for the Houston Chronicle for 4 years. Loved that job. Great job. 27, I photographed the Chippendale dancers. And yeah, they're all gay. 28, I dropped clinical LSD 25 at a dorm room at the University of Pittsburgh. 29, I stole a car. I think I'm off a number, but anyway. 30, I stole a beautiful shawl from a girl I met at the beach. 31, I've seen spirits of dead people. 32, I turned down a free ride to Woodstock. 33, I hit a girl over the head with my books for making fun of my cousin, and I had to call and apologize to her. 34, I rode mini bikes past the chicken farms near our house so the chickens would fly out through the fans. 35, I put tacks on my teacher's chair that she sat on, and she never felt it. She was huge. 36, I cursed my grandmother at her grave. 37, I shot a chipmunk and 2 squirrels when the men left me alone under a tree to go off and really hunt. They were shocked when they came back with nothing. I had 2 squirrels. One with a nut still in its mouth. And those are rock and roll quotes. Okay. 38, I quit eating meat or using animal products in 1988. 40, I helped steal a pig and had it for dinner at an outdoor rock concert that was Brownsville Station and Alice Cooper. 41, I lived in 2 communes. 42, I totaled a 67 Mustang with a Cobra engine. Ow. 43, I got burned on the face with a cigarette. Only in one spot, not all over my face, no comments. 44, I spent a lot of time in my girlfriend's cellar bedroom listening to her mother and her new husband having wild sex in the room above us. 45, the rock formations in Sedona, Arizona scare the hell out of me. They're so huge. 46, I castrated a bull using a big rubber band and put it around his balls. 47, I sang with people. Oh my God, was that awful. What a nightmare. They were so mean. 48, I was an extra in the movie Slapshot. 49, I saved a child from drowning in the Central Park Zoo in New York City. And 50, I was badly beaten by a man I loved. So that's it. Now I'm throwing down the gauntlet for somebody else. It was a lot of fun to do it, and I was surprised at how many animal references came up. So it'll be interesting to see what everybody else comes up with. Okay, I'm off to watch some TV and just kind of zone out. Namaste.